Today, to be able to make our ice cream, we're going to need to talk about the art word tint. Because ice cream is usually a tint of a color. So it means a color plus white. It makes the color lighter. The opposite direction, which we won't be using for this project, but I just want you to know, is a shade. It is a color plus black. It makes the color darker. But today we are making tints, color plus white. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make your tints to get your ice cream ready for this project. Alright, way number 1 of making tints is if you have some craft paint or tempera paint at home. I would ask permission before you do this. You can see I have puddles of white, and then I have smaller puddles of the color I'm going to be adding. So here I'm going to take a little bit of red on my brush, and I'm going to stir it into the white, and I'm making a tint of red, which is pink. This could be strawberry or bubblegum ice cream. Because I'm going to be cutting my scoops out later, I'm just going to take this and paint part of a paper with my lovely tint pink. My last one, I have my dot of white, and then I also have just a tiny little bit of brown because for me, ice cream is not worth it if you are not going to get some chocolate ice cream. So I'm making a light tan tint. It's very light. I'm going to get a little bit more of my brown here. There we go. And I'm going to paint that last stripe on my piece of paper. If this is the way you've chosen to go, this is going to need probably at least a half hour to dry before you're going to be able to do anything else with it. You, of course, can change what colors and what flavors you're going to make. I'm going to show you way number 2. Alright, way number 2 involves watercolor paints if you have them at home. And here you're not so much adding white to the color as you're just adding a lot of water to make it a lighter version, a tint of that color. So here I have my brush. I added a lot of water. And watercolors are kind of naturally tints. They're more pastel than the actual color. You can see just as I'm adding more water, that blue gets lighter and lighter. This might become Blue Moon ice cream. I'm looking... Alright, if you've been saying that I don't have any watercolor paint, I don't have any craft paint, you can still make a tint on paper just using crayons by changing how hard you're pressing with the crayons. If I take a red crayon and I press really hard, I'm going to get dark red. But if I don't press very hard at all, I'm going to get more of a pink, a tint of red. So you're changing the pressure, you're changing the value or how light or dark this color is. So you could do several stripes on a piece of paper, pressing more lightly with crayon. This might become strawberry. While your ice cream tints are drying, I'm going to go ahead and make a dish or a cone for them. You could draw right on a white piece of paper. Because I want to practice cutting and drawing a little bit, I have a separate sheet of paper. I chose yellow. Could be brown, could be orange. I'm taking any straight edge. I just have an edge of a book here. And I'm going to draw one line here. I'm going to flip the book or whatever I'm using the other way. A line on the other side. They've got to meet at the bottom. And so far this looks like it's going to be a triangle, but we want it to actually be a cone. So the line at the top is going to be curved like a smile. And then to further add to that, I'm just going to add a little bit of a shadow on this side. Tiny little bit of a shadow here. I really like waffle cones. So I'm going to go ahead and add those lines. Some diagonals going this way, some diagonals going this way. In the next step that I'm going to speed up, you're just going to see me cut this out and glue it down onto my white background paper. I've given my paper some time to dry, and the most important part when you start working on these ice cream cones is I'm just going to kind of take a measurement of the edge of my cone or dish here, and you can just see I'm drawing 2 lines so that my ice cream is kind of going just a little bit over the edge. I'm going to flip that, and the first shape I'm going to draw is a weird little like wiggly worm shape, and then the half circle for the scoop. Oops, I had a little wet spot there. And judging from that size of one, then I can go up to my next piece. I'm drawing the wiggly worm and a half circle. And wiggly worm, half circle. And I could do this with all my different colors of paper. I have my Blue Moon and Vanilla here. I have the ones I colored with crayon. I don't think they're all going to fit. Next, I'm going to cut these out and glue these down. When I glue them down, you're going to notice that each scoop kind of overlaps or covers a little bit of the one beneath it because they can't just be floating in midair. So the rest of this project is really up to you because you've made your tints and you've practiced drawing shapes and cutting. And so I'm just going to show you some things you might want to do. I have here some whipped cream. I just cut like a half circle shape and then made it a little bit wavy at the bottom. I also went ahead and I made a little cherry on a separate piece of paper, the cherry on top. And like I told you, for me, this would not be worth having if there wasn't a little bit of chocolate. So there's going to be some chocolate sauce dripping down the sides here. And this I'm adding with crayon. You could also use marker. And I definitely think there needs to be some fudge chunks in this flavor down here. Maybe it's cookie dough, maybe it's fudge ripple. You can see I have some drips here and a little bit running down my cone if you want to add those details. I think this one here is kind of a blackberry ripple, so I'm going to go ahead and add some ripples of that flavor into the scoop. And the one at the top definitely needs some strawberry chunks or cherry chunks in it. Another option for this project is to choose some goofy flavors, maybe pickle marshmallow, banana hot dog, and you can go that direction. To finish mine off, you can see that I added some light pastel plaid lines. I added a little speech bubble onto it. And so this is my finished tint, color plus white, ice cream dream cone. I hope you have fun with this project, and I will talk to you next lesson. All right, have a great day.